Hello, everyone. So, my name is Priyanka Kasture, and I am the founder of Machine Learning India. Some of you might already know me, some of you might not, but essentially, what I do is, build awareness about emerging technologies, ranging from machine learning to artificial intelligence to big data to blockchain, quantum computing, so on and so forth. So, uh, the community Machine Learning India, at least, uh, is was an experiment which started in college, and back then I was really not serious about building communities or about how they are built and what all goes into it, the seriousness altogether. But eventually, the little idea that I had started picking pace. We are going to be discussing about the idea too. So it's all about building communities online. And why I chose this topic is because I see a lot of companies, I see a lot of startups. They come up with amazing products and services, but it's like they cannot sell it, or they do not have their target audience in place, right? They do not know where to target their marketing efforts, and eventually their marketing budget, their marketing spend, and this is why a lot of money is lost, a lot of time is lost, a lot of efforts are lost. So building a community online has a lot of benefits. We will be discussing them down the line, but this is going to be like the entire idea as to why I chose this topic. I really want to be out there, help people, and make them aware of why online communities are important in today's day and age, and why you should be working on establishing your own online community, your own brand, like maybe an identity for yourself, some or the other way, because eventually it's all going to help, and we're going to be discussing how. So, about me, like I've already mentioned, my name is Priyanka. I'm the founder of Machine Learning India, and I completed my graduation in the year 2019 in information technology. My majors were computer vision, soft computing. So you understand it was all around AI. At a very young age, that was only when I was around 18, I got started with startups and businesses. Right, I worked with multiple startups. Um, Businesses and small businesses. I got to know how they function, how their sales works, how their marketing works, and I was really curious as to whether or not I can give it a try myself and maybe build a brand online. uh, that's how it all started, I think. And one of the biggest things I've learned in my journey is that you have to sell your products well, right? You could build the top products, the top services in the world, but if you can't sell them well, if you can't market them well, and if you don't have a community around it, if you don't have people that are excited about what you're building, if you do not have people that are constantly going to engage about your products, talk about your products, not just be a fan of your product, but also let other people know about your products and services. I think if you don't have that, it's a big problem. And this is something today we will be discussing on. So I was really curious about all of this, and I really wanted to experience firsthand. So that's how it all began, I would say. So I completed my graduation, and by the time I was graduating, I had established this amazing online community on machine learning, right? So I had done a lot of machine learning in college, but you know post that it has mostly been a marketing growth hacking related profile. So what I really wanted to do is, personally, in my experience, I did not have a lot of mentorship or guidance in my journey, and I really wanted, and I really didn't want anybody else to go through the same. And that is exactly why I came up with Machine Learning India. And it was just a little initiative of, gathering like minded people and spreading awareness about emerging technologies, and just putting out whatever comes up in the domain and just sharing it with everyone, then discussing over it and just learning all the way. So this was the core idea, and by the time I graduated, it had become a huge entity. So we had 60,000 members across India and the globe. by the time I was graduating. Now it has been over a year since I've graduated, and 2.5 years for Machine Learning India, and the community has grown to 3 lakh members today. Okay, so this is the power of consistency and persistence, I would say. But it has opened sort of a Pandora's box for me now, right? So now that I have my community in place, I can experiment with different things, right? I know where to target my marketing efforts at. I know where to uh, target my sales efforts at. I know which bunch of people to interact with constantly. I know who's going to buy my product. I have the entire analytics, the demography of my target audiences. So these are the benefits that really should be considered, I guess. So without wasting any more time, I would like to get into the topic, the importance of building an online community. So Kartika, could you please just change the slide for me? Yes. So, what is an online community and why build it online? So, when I say community, what essentially I want to say is a bunch of people that are curious about the same topic or share the same interest. Now, this could be related to a subject, a specific domain, or could be a product, a brand, or just anything in general. Right? There are communities for programming languages. There are communities for upcoming emerging technologies. There are communities for HR people. There are communities for marketing people. All you have to do is just go up online and search for these, right? So this is what I mean by a community. That is a bunch of people that share the same interest and love discussing about these topics. um, that's all. That's pretty much it. It's not very complicated. And why build it online? I guess the future is online, right? Everything is going online. We do not have these mom and pop shops anymore, right? Like even the little shops that you see, even they are coming up with online store versions of themselves. So you really see the future is online, but you should really know uh, whom to target your marketing efforts at. So whom to exactly sell your products. So that is when the whole idea of a community comes into picture, right? The world is going online. We see so many bigger companies, including Google, Facebook, Microsoft, and companies that are not even related to technology for that sake, trying to build their communities, conducting online events, offline events, coming up with various competitions, hackathons, um, so on and so forth, or building forums for their community members to discuss about their products and offerings. So this is why online, because online is convenient, right? If you cannot be physically present everywhere or attend all events, all offline events for that sake. Physical events are also a great way to communicate, but online is the way to go. And it's going to, like, especially in the times of the whole corona pandemic, I think online really has gained importance. Okay, everybody understands and realizes the importance of what it is like to be online and what it is like to have an online presence, because uh, obviously everybody was at home and we couldn't do much given the circumstances. So if you were online and if you knew your people that are going to interact with you, are going to show interest in your products and services months down the line, or let's say even that very instant, it would be a lot easier for you and obviously a lot more profitable, right? So this is the reason why you should be building a community. And the second one is why to build it online. I see a lot of offline communities also, but the problem with those is, there's a lot of struggle communicating with everyone, and there's a lot of struggle scaling it up, right? So that's one other reason to go online. Kartika, could you please just change the slide? Yes. So this slide talks about something called as the network effect. So Peter Thiel, he's a very renowned author, entrepreneur, investor, and philanthropist also. In his book Zero to One, he wrote this amazing, he talks about this amazing topic called the network effect, which actually states that the value of your company, your brand, your network, or people that are engaging in your community, it increases with the number of people in your community. So basically, the value of the network is directly proportional to the size of the network. So the bigger community you have up online, the bigger value your brand is going to be able to provide. Okay, because in term, these are the people that are going to be showing interest in buying your products, and these are the people that are going to be, very curious as to what your offerings are. They're going to buy it. They're going to tell other people about it, so on and so forth. So this, it speaks volumes. The network effect itself speaks volumes because um, if there are only a bunch of people that know about you or your product or your offering, eventually that's going to lead to very little value for yourself and your company, right? So here you see the importance of the size, right? So if there are, let's say, 2,000 people, 1,000 people in your emailing list, or let's say on your social media platform, you're trying to build a community for yourself. Now, this could be a community for a company, brand, or even yourself, right? So if you're trying to build a personal brand, a brand out of yourself, it can also be called as a community. So if you're trying to do it on social platforms like Instagram or LinkedIn or YouTube, however, or maybe if you're getting started with an emailing list, that can work too. But here, what is important to understand is that the value of that community is directly proportional to the size. So, in order for you to make some difference, or the community to start making some difference, or you to notice some significant results in profits, uh, the size of your community has to really grow, and that's really important. Apart from that, I guess one other point I would like to emphasize on is when I say size really matters, what I also mean is quality matters, right? So how you're building a community is also very, very important. What are the ingredients that are going into your recipe? They're also very important. How to build it, we'll be seeing that in the next few slides. But here, essentially, like very something which is very important for you to understand is the size of the network and the quality. Okay, the quality of people that are joining your network, the quality of people that are joining your community. Now there are also some people which are like very ghosty, they'll just join your community, maybe start consuming your content, so on and so forth, but they won't really buy your product. So these people aren't really that much of a value for you and your company, but it's definitely going to be on your mission to convert these people into people that are like interested in your offerings. Karthika, the next slide please. Yeah. How can someone get started? I think one of the best ways for someone to get started is choose a platform. Okay. Now, if you are a youngster and if your brand is around like products and services that youngsters really use, like clothing, or, maybe something related to stationery or anything, okay, something that youngsters are really inclined towards, you would want to go ahead and build a community on platforms like Instagram or Facebook, something like a lot of youngsters use, or TikTok. Now TikTok does not exist anymore, but the organic reach on TikTok was really great, was really tremendous. So maybe you can go ahead with other platforms that youngsters use the most. Okay, or you could start your own podcast on Spotify if you're like good at it. So it really depends on the kind of platform you want to choose, but make sure that you have a like there's one platform you're sticking to and one platform you make a fortress out of, right? Because once you build a significant amount of following online on one platform, it becomes very, very easy to migrate that particular audience to some other platform, right? You cannot be starting from scratch on all of these because it's going to be a very like pain. It's going to be a pain otherwise, trust me. And the second important thing is for you to know what you are doing, right? The direction is important. The goal of the community is important, because if you're just building up a large amount of audience online, and you really do not know what products and services to target at your audience, or let's say you do not even have the products and services to target at that particular audience, then it's going to be getting a little boring for you down the line, because then you're not really making any profits. There's no incentive for you as a person, but there's a lot of incentive for the community. So ensure that there's a direction, there's a goal that you all collectively want to achieve. That's the second step I think I would like to recommend. The third step really is to start brainstorming on ways in which you are going to grab people's attention online. Okay, so if you are a huge company, you aren't really going to be needing any sort of assistance with this. But if you are like a startup or trying to grow your brand, trying to grow your brand identity online, trying to get more people to know about your products and services, then something what is really important is for you to have amazing content to present. Okay, it's a very noisy online world. Everybody's fighting for your attention. Everybody's fighting for the attention of new people, consumers, potential consumers, so on and so forth. So it's really important for you to stand out. And how are you going to do that? This can happen through videos. This can happen through quality infographics. Infographics are huge nowadays. This can also happen through your podcast, like I said, audio material. This can happen through your course on Udemy. You could do anything, okay? But in the end, like at the end of the day, all you have to do is provide quality. Do something which not a lot of people are doing, okay? But do not pick something super niche, because otherwise it's gonna be like it's not a proven concept otherwise. Okay, so try to do something which only a few people are doing. If you are going ahead with sort of building a page from scratch, building a community from scratch. Otherwise, if you're trying to build a community around some technology, some framework, some product which already exists, then you might have some assistance from other people as well, because they have used those products and services and offerings. Like I personally can give you the example of communities in technology. Okay, now Python is a programming language a lot of developers use. A lot of developers also use JavaScript. So you see there are a lot of communities around these programming languages. Now AI is on like the top of the hype cycle, right? AI, big data, blockchain. These technologies have their own communities as well. Not one, but many, right? Everybody, let's say someone is super passionate and curious about a technology, let's say quantum computing. He could come up with a technology, he could come up with a community of his own. And how to build it, like I said, you have to choose a platform, you have to have a goal, a proper goal for your community, how you're going to be going ahead. And then basically all you have to do is get good quality content, produce good quality content, and especially do everything that you can do to grab people's attention in a positive way, in a good way. Something that really elevates your brand's reputation, and something that really helps you build uh, curiosity among masses, and that's how you go ahead. Apart from that, I think the fourth important factor which really comes into picture, especially when it comes to online communities, is engage with your community. Engagement is super important. Now, there's one way engagement in which like someone who has built a community is interacting with everyone in the community, and then there's two-way also in which uh, someone who has built a community is interacting with people in the community, and both are getting to ask questions and discuss. So it's like two-way communication. And then there's another form of community wherein you know people in the community also can interact with themselves, and like the founder is sometimes involved, right? So these are 3 to 4 forms of communities you can explore. So essentially what is important is for you to build a very engaging community. Now the engagement can be with you, but obviously you cannot cater to the needs of everyone, you cannot answer everyone's doubts, so on and so forth. So try to build a place like a forum where people can interact with each other and learn from each other, because then there will be people who are willing to answer and solve doubts. There will also be people who are like willing to learn more and are curious and are posting a lot of questions, and sort of creating a lot of discussions, spurring discussions. So engagement is the fourth factor. Um, that's all. I think that those are all the secret ingredients that go into building successful online communities. Now, how are you going to leverage that community completely depends on you, right? So when I got started, I had absolutely no clue that I was actually building an online community. So it took me time to sort of figure out what I want to do with the amount of following I've built online, and what direction I want to give to it, and how is it that I'm actually going to be providing value, not just through infographics and my content, but actual real life value to people that follow me, to people that are part of my community, and people that are actively engaging and consuming whatever I put online. So this will happen eventually with time. It's not like you're going to be figuring out everything in the first go, but definitely here what's important to understand is it's important to start, right? Things will fall in place down the line. Kartika, could you please move to the next slide? Yeah. So here I would like to touch upon how it all started, right? So I was only in my third year when I got started with an Instagram page. Actually, I was building a lot of good projects on like good projects around machine learning and AI, and I really wanted to showcase whatever I was doing. And back then, I really did not know what communities are and why they are built, and why people come together, discuss about things and learn, so on and so forth, and what really is the value of building an online community for someone who has built it and for someone who's just a part of it, right? I understood nothing. Okay. I used to post all of these projects on my personal page, but then I realized not a lot of people will be interested because people that follow me come from really diverse backgrounds and different academic interests. So they might not understand whatever I'm posting. So I went on to create an Instagram page wherein I started sharing really quality information around everything in my domain, that is machine learning. So what happened was people started loving whatever I was posting for a very simple reason that not a lot of people were doing what I was doing, and secondly, I was providing quality. Okay, I was providing quality information in a very appealing format. Okay, in a very attractive format, and that is what got people's attention, and that is why it really grew really quickly. Now, first few months were a little difficult. Like even the first 6 months, I would say we had very little engagement, very little number of likes, and all of those Instagram analytics if you check. But I was consistent, I was persistent, and I really wanted to do it. And basically, what drove me was just putting quality information out there. I do not want anybody else to go through the pain that I did. That is not having enough guidance and mentorship, and I think it really paid off. So the consistency and persistence really paid off. Um, 2.5 years from then, I see it has become a community of 3 lakh plus members today. So you really see, what dedication can do, what consistency can do, what quality information can do, quality content in a very appealing format. So this can work wonders. Also, what is important for you to understand, whichever platform you are trying to build your community on, um, you should know the in and outs of that platform. Okay, I knew the in and outs of Instagram. Now, keeping Instagram apart, machine learning India is also a huge entity on LinkedIn. Okay, and a considerable entity on Telegram as well. So here it's important for you to understand that you cannot keep all your eggs in one basket, right? Your community should have a very diversified presence, okay, on multiple social media platforms. If not social media, any online forum for that sake, whichever you find convenient. Could be mailing lists also. That's not an issue. But you should know the ins and outs of that particular platform, how the algorithm actually functions, and how is it that your content is going to get that boost online. Okay, you really need to understand that. It's super important. So that is something I really had experience with because prior to getting started with my online community, I used to run a very small online business. So that gave me the amount of information I needed and just the initial start as to how to create a page and how to build that audience online. So that is something which really helped me. Uh, Other factors that really helped me were the offline events that we got conducted under my community. So if you are a company or a startup, make sure that you conduct some offline events throughout the year as well. Now, given the circumstances, it's not really possible as of now. I really understand, maybe not even possible till the end of this year. But whenever we are in the post-COVID world for real, that is when you can really start experimenting with offline events, because that is when people get to interact with each other, and the sense of being with people that share the same interest or same interests as you is just on another level. People love it. People usually love it. So get offline events conducted as well. If you have a good amount of online presence and you can really afford to get offline events conducted without having very sparse number of people coming to your offline events, go ahead with it. It's really great. That also provided a good boost to my personal brand. And another thing, like I said, is quality content, quality information, visual appeal, a lot of engagement. Okay, constantly engaging with your community members, participating in discussions, talking about my products, talking about my services. That is something which is going to get people a lot more curious as to what I'm providing, right? So this is something you should be doing. Try to create content that spurs discussions. There are two types of content. One is sensationalist content, okay, something that people are going to readily share with their friends, like, oh my god, this is something new and I didn't know about it, and this is something super interesting, I should be sharing that with my friends. And the second type of content is something which is like little more savable, academic, educational, something that should be saved for later. That is how I describe it. And your content strategy should be like a mix of both of these, because it's content world. It's all marketing, like all sorts of marketing rely on content today. So focus on content also, because if you're trying to build an online community, the only thing that is going to help you grab people's attention is quality content. So ensure that you are keeping a good balance of sensationalist as well as um, savable content. So these are a few things that really help me. Now, how I leverage the community, there are like multiple things. One, I have built a massive community online around machine learning and AI. So a lot of companies, B2C startups and other small scale businesses that are working in this space get in touch with me for marketing and promotions of their brands and products. So you see here, the value of my community is much larger than the value of my products and services, if you consider, right? So people are paying me to access my community. So this is the really how you can leverage it. Maybe through promotions, through affiliate marketing. Um, Maybe you could also have a non-profit community for that sake. It completely depends on you. But if you're doing it for profit, then you could explore some options like affiliate. You could also explore options like merchandising, right? You could have your own merchandise line, right? So this can be done, or maybe you come up with products and offerings of your own. Like now that I have a technical community, tomorrow go ahead with having this small technical company of my own, centered around delivering products and services that are like revolving around machine learning. That can work too. I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in working with you. A lot of people will also be interested in buying your products that way. So this is another way in which you could leverage your online presence. So there are multiple ways. I'm sure you can go up on Google and you can really find out how to leverage a community. Maybe you could get started with a YouTube channel as well. So that's also one of the forms of being able to leverage your online community. Building an online presence on Instagram, and then getting started with a YouTube channel, so that you can market your YouTube videos on Instagram, and then the audience migrates from Instagram to YouTube, and that is where you actually monetize the viewership. So these are a few things that can be done. Definitely, like, the sky is the limit for you to experiment. You can go ahead with any of the ideas you want, but just ensure that there are people watching whatever you are doing. And I think it's okay to start small. There's absolutely no issue. Even I got started with 0 followers, and I guess everyone does. So it's okay if like nobody is giving you a good response initially, but eventually things are going to work out. And another thing I would like to highlight is do not really fall in love with one particular idea. Okay, so if you go ahead with something and you see that people are not really responding to it, um, like try to experiment with something else, maybe like very closely related to what you were doing in prior, but a little different. Okay, do not change completely, otherwise you will keep switching, because a lot of people do not have a lot of patience nowadays. So be very gradual, okay, in the transition, and then try to experiment with multiple things. Okay, some things will work, some things won't. Also, what will work also depends a lot on whether there's enough awareness about it in the masses. Okay, so if you're getting started with something related to fitness, if your products are around the fitness industry, or if your products are around let's say technology, a particular technology that a lot of people use, people will really readily catch onto the concept and join you really quickly. But if you are doing something like not a lot of people know already, then it's going to be a little difficult, because then you have to convince people on the idea of what the product is, and then you have to really build the community. So this is difficult. Okay, why my community grew is because AI is known to everyone. It's literally on the top of the hype cycle. So people already knew what AI is. I did not have to really convince anyone as to what AI actually is. So they just joined it. Okay. This this can be a little difficult if your product is like in a very niche category. Okay. So you have to come up with really innovative ways in order to build your community in that case. Essentially, I think what everything boils down to is just build an audience with quality content in your niche. Whatever you want to do with your audience comes in a lot later, right? So when you have established an audience of, let's say, 10,000 people, 20,000 people, your community is 25,000 people strong, that is when you can actively start monetizing it. And that is when you are going to see a significant amount of profits, right? Now, this also depends on the platform. If you have an audience of 25,000 on LinkedIn, it's going to be far more profitable than an audience of 25,000 on Instagram. Okay, or let's say YouTube. YouTube and a subscriber base of 25,000 can be a good amount of like can actually mean a good amount of profit for you on YouTube, right? It completely depends on the platform also. So I don't mean to say that people with lesser members in their community or lesser followers are going to do like any worse, but I'm just saying like the bigger the audience, the better for you, because that's like literally going to translate in your profits. I think people generally what they look for is really something valuable, something that not a lot of other people are providing them. And I think if you can do that, there's nothing like there's nothing that's stopping them from following you, or constantly checking up on what products and services your company is offering next. So just focus on building a good viewer base online, a good number of people online that are really interested in what you are doing. Engage with them, always keep them curious, always keep them on their feet, always keep them asking about what you're coming up with next. And that is how, like, that's literally the secret recipe of building a small brand online. Eventually, obviously, as more people tune in, more people like join your community, the value of your network is going to grow, right? um, and really, like, once your community hits that mark, let's say that it's not a perfect number for that sake, but let's consider the number to be 50,000 members. So once it hits that number, the growth after that number is going to be very, very exponential and very quick, right? So you just have to persist to reach that stage. After that, I think the platform is going to take care of everything for you. So whatever, like, if you are a startup, if you are a small business, or if you are an individual who wants to start a side gig, wants to be like a small influencer in a small niche, maybe related to technology, related to fitness, related to cosmetics, related to marketing, could be anything, finance. So you can experiment with all of this, and you'll see with time what value the community really has to offer you. I see so many people online that had like they quit their jobs and they got into this full time, and this has changed their lives, honestly. So focus on building a community. I think it's going to provide a lot of value to you, your brand, and everything else, everything in between. That was all I had to say. I think you all have at least gotten a gist of what the significance of building communities online is, and how to do that. What to focus on. I think these were a few important things, but obviously you can go up on Google, and Google's already like always there for you. So you can get in touch with me on my email ID, which has already been mentioned on the screen. So if you have any queries as to how you can go ahead, or if you need any guidance, at least with the strategies of like how you can build it, different niche domains have different strategies. So you really have to like research a bit about it. If you need any guidance with that, I can definitely help. You can get in touch with me on the email that's mentioned right there. So that was all I had for you guys today. Hello, Kartika.